Yeah, but I think they need an extender. Can I use the link?
No. Oh.
Okay, do some hello. No, doesn't it do hellos?
Hello?
What's good?
You can't do that to me when you can.
It's live.
Good morning, Vooka Breakfast Show, and I hope you guys are ready for yet another amazing, positive start and obviously an energetic start to your mornings. Now, we are out here, Konamanje, in Santon at the Green Park, attending the Ascend Her conference, which is basically a conference that talks for women, by women, building women together, making sure that us as sisters, we all strive to become everything and anything great in this wonderful country that we live in. So I hope you guys are going to stay tuned. Don't move, Donya guys, because we have more in store for you. So is the camera going to stay at me while I'm munching?
Yeah, it's more like Hey, Vooka Nation, what's good? All right, we're about to begin. Just doing some final sound checks, but all is well right now. And that's Mo right there in the background. You can see my forehead. We're in the middle of Saturn, right? And just want to make sure that the audio is good. Okay, so we'll begin shortly. And let me just make sure that the compressor is running because we do not want to blow out your eardrums. Right, so it looks quite good. I'm just going to turn it up just a notch. And yeah, man, so yeah, this is it. And this is my comfortable voice. Stephen, how's it going right there? Let me just turn you up, brother man.
Good morning, Vooka Nation. Hey, bit raspy there. Sorry, guys.
No, the reason is because you ate food that you're not quite acquainted with. So your throat is like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's shocked. But yeah, good morning, Vooka Nation. I hope everybody's doing good at home. So we're reporting live from Santon. Where exactly are we?
In Santon.
Santon where, though?
In Santon.
Okay, cool.
In the middle of Santon.
Reporting live from the middle of Santon. As you can see with this dope setup, we are set up outside by the balcony. We're about to start the morning show. As you know, this is your daily dose of positivity. In this case, your daily dose of positive shake. Yeah, man.
and Mo's in the background pondering.
Yeah,
TC, your bag fell, bro.
Yeah, okay. It's okay right there.
No, let me help you. We need to pack things. I'll pack it for you. But anyway, TC is here, guys. TC is in the building.
Mm-hmm.
But we're actually on the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Are we not?
We're on the building. So right now we're on the 20th floor.
Sorry, TC, just hold on to this. Okay.
So we're on the 20th floor. If you're afraid of heights, sorry, man.
Man,
Sorry,
I
TC.
remember as we were walking in here, as
Yeah.
you come in, right?
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the stream, how
Okay.
it looks
Yeah, it's cool.
inside the audio.
TC and I are going to
but
keep
just
it going.
running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you saying?
Yeah, I got vertigo. I felt like I told you guys, Mina heights. I just felt like
You felt woozy. So for the people
But
at
the
home that don't
longer
know,
I'm up here.
the better it is, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to get used to feeling.
Yeah, man. I mean, for the people at home that's wondering, what's vertigo? Vertigo
Yeah,
is
I
the
don't get it.
fear of heights. Not really the fear of heights, but that feeling of when you're looking from a high stand ground and you're looking at the ground, you feel like the ground is sucking you, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the meaning of the word. So, yeah, how's...
Sucking you.
Hey, man, it's pulling you in.
The
It's pulling
ground
you
is
in.
sucking you.
Nah,
Yeah.
just keep it up. Keep this up. Yeah.
The ground is sucking you.
No,
Steve.
the ground is calling my name. So yeah, how's your morning, Titi?
Man,
How's your
it's
morning?
amazing. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm just yo.
The food is slapping, eh?
To be honest, these little muffin goodies. What are they? Pancakes.
Pancakes. Hey, muffin
Little-
goodies.
Yes, the hot thingies.
Mm-hmm.
With the cream and the syrup and these smoothies.
Yeah.
Ah, man, the green one slaps.
The green one. And
Yeah,
the green one looked like
the
vomit
one,
though.
and I'm the no man.
It
Why-
looked like it.
why
I'm
you
just
like
saying,
this,
it looked like
Steven?
it. Hey man, it was
It's
green
like,
and
don't
stuff.
deserve nice things.
What do you mean? I do deserve nice things. Vooka Nation, what do you think Steve deserves? And
Not nice
to the
things.
left of me is my brother Mo.
Yeah, what up, man?
Yes, sir.
What up?
How's everything? Please pass me the headsets. Let me regulate sound. Make sure.
Hey, man. Dude.
Thank you.
This man is making me... Bruh, I'm feeling good, man.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of people will ask you, how does it feel to be at the top? I've only...
How does it? Wow. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
man, yeah. It's a question that I have been posed with recently. How does it feel to be at the top? And, of course, right here, just enjoying this beautiful rooftop, outdoor, right here at the venue, man, in Sentin, right?
But to Steve,
Hey, this man.
hi, it's if
So okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
man,
saying
so,
about the
yeah.
top?
Yeah, I mean, just the feeling of being in the top of the building. You know, you look down and you feel like whenever you can jump anytime, you know, you're going to lose your life and you lose everything that you have. You know, I think it's the same feeling that people have whenever they have the wealth and they have everything in their lives, right?
Yeah.
Just by looking it into and putting it in a context for people to understand.
Yeah, please do,
that,
please do.
Yeah, man, like being at the top sometimes requires you to let go of what we call fear, because immediately when you start fearing little things, you know, you instantly lose the real essence of the position that you have in your life, right?
Pause.
So if you ascend, if you ascend with fear,
Yeah.
it's going to catch up with you. And when you descend with fear.
With fear still.
You understand?
Yeah, it's
so,
going to happen quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, being here and just going to experience some of these powerful and strong women, you know, who have played huge and significant roles.
Yeah, most definitely.
In how business has been shaped, because this Ascend Hair program, you know, it speaks to those women. If young women want to be part of it, it's nice.
Wait. Before we go into it, let's just properly explain to the Vooka Nation what are we doing here today? Because a lot of people must be wondering, why are we here?
Yeah.
This nice setting, what's going on? You know? Yeah.
So today we are here to attend a conference hosted by the Ascend Hair. Right, so the name of the program is Ascend Hair. For it's mainly to empower young women, you know, from the age of 18 to 35 years. You know, if you're a woman, in that age, between that age, this program is mainly for you. So they're here to share some of their sentiments in terms of how they have been handling, you know, the pressure that comes with living in this economy in South Africa, especially as a woman.
As a woman, I was about to say living in this economy and being a woman in South Africa, you know.
So women do really play like those huge significant roles in our communities, and them being in leadership position is something that we are starting to see, you know, and I feel like we should see it more as for them. I remember, you know, Helen Zille, which she is head of the DA right now. Helen Zille.
Wait. Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do some. So Helen Zille was asked, what is a woman? You know, for her, in simple terms, she put it like, a woman is somebody who gives birth to babies. Right?
A woman is a person that gives birth to babies.
To babies. And that spoke with her being in the political career, having a political career. What does it mean for her, you know? And she was like, some of the positions women need to avoid having kids at a young age, for you to become that leader, for you to become that people who are going to look up to. You know, there are certain things that you need to sacrifice in your life.
100%.
To ascend, to have certain positions in your life as a woman. Right? So I think this is a beautiful opportunity for women to come here and share some of their stories, because with each and every story, there is a lesson to be learned. You know, when somebody comes and share their story, you can learn something. We are seeing that in our country, we are suffering, we are facing what we call GBV right now.
Gender-based violence,
Gender-based violence. So some women out there, they believe that if you become in certain positions, you know, you're going to be a victim of GBV, but not knowing that there's the other bright side of you being a woman who is a leader, you know, in a community, you know. So I just believe that this kind of program, it's programs that need to be, you know, just be pushed in higher heights for people to know that.
And the highlights of the media as a whole, you know.
And the nice thing, we can also, you know, look back into women who played huge roles into what women are doing, the struggles that they fought for. You know, your Winnie Madikizela.
I mean, there's women that gave birth to legends, man. You know,
legends that we still talk about till this day.
Yeah.
Understand? So it's all about leaving a mark, historical significance that we can always look up to say, okay, for me to get encouraged, not discouraged in today's society, who can I look up to, right? Because I believe that having somebody that you can idealize, whether as a woman and as a man, and it's not like women needs to idealize only, you know, women. We as men,
it should be
women we idealize.
It should be a vice versa thing. I mean, there's what we call Woman Crush Wednesday, right? Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
Wednesday.
And it's Wednesday.
It's
right?
Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask you, who's your woman crush for this Wednesday?
If I have to dig deep in my memory, man,
Dig deep, boy. Go in. Go in.
I would pick Maya Angelou. You know,
Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Maya Angelou.
Okay.
read
Good one,
some of
Mo.
her
That's a
stuff,
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Maya
So,
Angelou.
Yeah, for
Mm.
today, man, she is
I like it.
my huge.
Do you even know
huge-
who Maya Angelou is, Steve?
This lady. We're
No,
celebrating
who is
women.
Who is Maya Angelou?
So since it's Woman Crush Wednesday, right? And we hereby ascend her, right?
Hmm.
I'll allow you to educate us. Who is Maya Angelou?
No, you can't say that. You can't turn it
I'm
on me.
allowing you to
It
educate
means
us.
you do not know
I'm
who
allowing
Maya
you.
Angelou is.
Just keep it up. We can't hear you.
That means
There
you
you
do
go,
not
there you go.
know who Maya
No,
Angelou
I
is.
do, but I want to give you the spotlight to show
Why?
you.
I didn't ask
Vooka
for
Nation,
it.
like to show what women are capable of, how intelligent our women
Consent
are.
is important.
You know,
Yeah.
how
I didn't ask for
intelligent
that.
our women
Yeah,
are. You
man,
know.
women
Is
play-
very important,
Okay,
and
can I
did
please
not
ask you?
for that.
Can I please ask you a question?
It's because you did not know. It's because you don't know who Maya Angelou is.
Vooka
It's
Nation.
okay. It's okay. Your woman crush is a great one, Mo,
Yeah,
because
thanks.
you know, other than being a poet, she's a great
Yeah,
philanthropist,
yeah, true.
and you know, she truly believes. In the excellence of women, and not
True.
just women,
Yeah.
but
And yeah,
you
and a
know,
drink.
black people.
Black people in
So
general. Yeah.
she's one
Coffee,
of those
please.
figures amongst black communities
With 3 sugars.
that signifies and embodies what
Yeah.
it means
Yeah.
to be an
Oh, she's a
empowered woman.
philanthropist.
Yeah.
A poet,
A poet.
A poet
an author,
and
a writer.
Yeah, her
She's
work is
a creator.
and I have a
You did
confession.
not
I have a
even know
confession.
that.
I have a confession, guys. I didn't know. I was just winging it for a second. You know what I was about to say? I was about to say it's Michelangelo's mom, bro. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Kind of makes sense because
Yeah.
that's the first thing that rings on your
Yeah.
mind. to say
That's why you know
Angelo.
Ninja Turtles. That's why
No,
ikhanda lakho ngathele
the one
Ninja
I'm talking
Turtles.
about. The one I'm talking about is actually the guy that painted.
Oh, Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I even know
Take
him.
it back. Take it back. Say sorry. Vooka Nation, as you can
Salah,
see,
you look
as
like a
you can
Ninja
see-
Turtle.
As you can see, this lady to the right of me is roasting me. Roasted me. I don't know
In
why.
Santon.
Hey, bro, in Santon, bro.
Rooftop.
We ascended her. We ascended her to the 20th floor. Now she feels like she's ascended. Hey, you will
Hey, I am
descend, my sister.
great. I
Yeah.
am
You will
great.
descend, my
Who
sister.
will
But yeah,
descend
man.
me?
But yeah. So yesterday, I saw yesterday. Yesterday was quite interesting, eh?
It was.
Yeah, it was. It
Very
was. It was
interesting.
On the pots
insightful.
and pans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pots and pans. Yep.
were doing the
Yep,
things,
yep.
man.
Yeah, so I think the episode will fly soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, people should be ready for some, obviously flavorful
Yeah,
conversations
yeah,
that we had
100%.
right there. So
100%.
I think people should be ready for those episodes because we had Sativa and we also had Lerato. So
Yeah, yeah.
we prepared some omelette right there. Also prepared some spaghetti with some meatballs.
Hey, spaghetti and meatballs, bro.
Yeah.
You know that's my favorite dish,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. So
You know that's my favorite dish.
yeah.
Spaghetti and meatballs is
spaghetti
the one,
and
bro.
a meatball. So people should be on the lookout and stay on our social media platforms. Do make sure that you subscribe and you stay with us through our social media platforms. It is
Yeah.
a Vooka Breakfast show.
Show
Right now
on
we
all
are
platforms.
at the venue, man. We are at venue. Okay, Steve.
So
There's
Vooka
an
Nation,
important
I will,
guest
I
that
will
is going to
love
join
and
us.
leave you guys yeah, man, on the 2nd.
Yes, Michelangelo, the son of Maya Angelou.
Michelangelo, bro, is the son of Maya Angelou.
Careful of the phone there. It's charging.
I'm seeing these things.
All right, man. Yeah, we're still right here at the venue in Senton, and I hope that you guys are still with us. And of course, if you want to connect with us throughout our social media platforms, it is Vooka Breakfast Show. Before the break, we were just having some conversations about how are we feeling, in terms of the program that we are attending right here. But with that being said, we are joined by a beautiful guest here who will introduce herself shortly. But with that being said, I am going to be with TC just to ask you, how are you doing? Because this day is all about you guys.
I know, man. It's a Woman Crush Wednesday. I'm
Yeah.
definitely crushing on every single woman in here because today is about them. They're doing amazing things. And of course, this program
Yeah.
is about, elevating and empowering us as
Yeah.
women. And of course, right here, I've already networked with multiple in different industries
Yeah.
doing great stuff,
Yeah.
some of which I found out that I know.
Yeah.
And we have, mutual business partners.
Yeah.
And we've got, we know mutual people in the space. So that's great. It goes to show, right?
Yeah.
It speaks to why these events are quite important because you come here, you network, you don't even... We run in the same circles as much as we are not the same squares,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As we are here and finding out a little more about
Yeah.
each other, we get to see how we can collaborate and work together to reach a much bigger goal.
Yeah.
And of course, for greater impact. And impact is quite a real and important thing
Yeah.
for programs like these. But anyways, enough from me. It's not about me. One of the amazing women that are here attending the Business Conference 2025 for Send Her, so now, our guest right here is about a little bit about her and what she does and of course why she finds herself here today.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me here. I'm Siposami Zulu, and I am the stakeholder liaison and executive assistant at the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. Wow, Ascend Her Business Conference is something that, we are excited that it's finally happening. From the planning and everything, that comes. We wanted to have a program like this is to recognize our women in business and leadership roles, because we find that there is a huge gap in the entrepreneurial space, especially when it comes to women in business. So we said, how can we better recognize and put our women recognized and to have their own businesses, And I'm really so excited, on the turnout that we have here and some of keynote addresses from our executives, and we have round tables.
Oh.
That's where the excitement is.
Right. For me, of course, the tea,
Yeah.
on the real business that goes on and, getting in those little nuggets of information. It helps. To a lady this morning, her name is Coach Harriet. She's got an NPO. She was talking about how, being here for her is about getting those little nuggets because she just recently resigned from her job. And, I went into the conversation to let her know about a book that we've recently discussed on the show called Don't Leave Your Job Yet by Unkarabile. Unkarabile Mang?
Unkarabile Mokoto.
Yes, Mukoto, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so, and I was just sharing with her, how long did it take her to actually come to that decision? Guti, this job is not for me and whatnot. She's like, of course a lot of planning goes into, decisions like that. And now the game is not how are you going to be a piece in someone else's picture, but how to actually make your own.
Yeah.
So, and we agreed that, as people and as young people and as women, we are seeing a recent call for people to actually establish
Yeah.
their own thing, right, to actually empower others. But yeah. I'm sure you have much more to speak on this because you know more than I do.
And people who are watching, they have so many questions. But she mentioned that there's going to be a panel discussion, which we are looking forward to. But right now we are seeing, a lot of things and a lot of obstacles that prevent women to be where they are. And one of the things that helps them is empowerment. What role do you think empowerment play in a young woman's life, especially in South Africa?
I think empowerment plays such a pivotal role because, from back in the down upon, and being judged. If you want to do something, you don't work, you don't do this. So I think empowerment, it also helps to bring out that inner, animal in you to go for it, and it's also a support structure, you understand, for you to actually execute that idea that you have and to put yourself out there, because it's one thing me empowering you with my words and actually also empowering you by exposing you to such markets or networking with people that can assist in that business of yours. So I really think empowerment is such a pivotal thing in our community.
Powerful.
So what I want to know, right, so you spoke about being American in the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. What is that all about? And I know, a center is not the only program that you guys have. So can you the institute?
Right. So the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute is an NPO, is an NPC, right? And we focus mainly on developing young entrepreneurs between the ages 18 to 35. So we have different programs that we run. Last week we just concluded our youth entrepreneurship tour here in Gauteng. So the youth entrepreneurship tour is where we go around all universities across South Africa, across all 9 provinces.
Yeah, you guys were at UJ,
Yeah, and what we have there, it's a 3-day program. So the first day is where we do the business site visits, where we just go check out how your business is doing and also see how we can assist you, be it financially or non-financially. And then the second day, that's where we have the Youth Innovation Challenge. That's where it gets interesting, because we have a call for all young entrepreneurs to come pitch their business ideas, to stand a chance of getting to be part of our skills program. Right. And lastly, the third day, that's where we have the Financial Inclusion Symposium, where we bring out all our ABSA partners from a financial perspective. We have WNR CETA, we have our executive at the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. So basically, in the Financial Inclusion Symposium, we ask questions mainly about finance, how we can secure funding. How do I know as an entrepreneur that I am investment ready? What are some of the things that I need to look out for? And then after that we have a skills program. So in each province we take the top challenge. They get to be a part of our skills program. That's where we have different master classes on sustaining businesses, business development. There are some who just come with ideas, right? So in the skills program we also assist them with drafting their business plans, mentorship as well. We assist with that. So it just goes on and on and on. And we're excited. And at the end of the year, by the way, something to look forward to. Something to look forward to is the Youth Entrepreneurship Week. Right.
Nice.
So the Youth Entrepreneurship Week, that's where we have every top 10 from all 9 provinces. They come here to Gauteng and they join us. We have a gala dinner, guys. Please don't miss out on that.
We are not going to miss out.
Do not miss out.
You're stuck with us
Sounds
now.
nice.
Yeah.
You're stuck with us now. Once we're here, you're
Yes.
stuck with us.
Yeah.
So we have the gala dinner where we have our different ministers from the technology department, small business development department, and we have the market day where all these entrepreneurs will be exhibiting their businesses. Right, obviously for some real cash.
Yes,
for some real cash.
And I'm glad you're speaking on the financial literacy part of it, because I mean, this week, by the way, I don't know if any of you know that this week, running from the 25th until the 31st of August, it's called Smart Money Week SA.
Nice.
So this week from the 25th until 31 one, the 31st of August. It is Smart Money Week SA. So it's all about financial literacy and financial education. So, you know, in your opinion, how does financial literacy and financial education catalyze young entrepreneurs, especially women, in these spaces? Because I know that, you know, especially as women, it's easy to fall prey. Recently, as you know, there's been scandals or a talk of a scandal of how, you know, young women have been lured into programs where, you know, they've been exploited. But now we're looking at a program that is doing real work that is relevant and speaks to real South African problems, to the real South African woman, South African youth. So how do you think financial literacy and education actually offers real empowerment to youth and women?
I think most entrepreneurs, right, they start their businesses without having the financial knowledge or education. So they fall prey to a lot of scams. You know, for example, people say, hey, come invest in my business. I have a similar business that you want to start, you know. Come invest. I'll be your partner. I'll be this. So when you have this financial education, you are able to know, or rather to see scams from afar. You understand? And you're able to budget also for your business and allocate certain finances or certain aspects of your business. So I think financial education is really important, because you can only go so far, you know, without it. And at some point you will need it. So that's why it's important for us to start it now. You understand? So that by the time you even scale your business, you already know what you're going to do with this funding.
In order to even scale a business, you need to have financial literacy and education, because how will you scale a business without those? What do you know? What is scaling without understanding finances? Do you understand? So, I mean, an essential part of growth in business.
I mean, one of the things, man, because we are seeing that information nowadays is currency, and how it's, you know, being laid out to people out there, you know, using the mediums like social media. In terms of social media visibility, are you guys, you know, active in social media to let young women know that?
Yes, definitely. We are active on social media. We have our Instagram page where you can find us at YANPC. We have our LinkedIn as well, where we always post. It's just simply Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. Also on Facebook. Yeah, we are very active, and I think that's how we also were able to get so many people for this program through our Instagram posts. And Uboy Dumelo, shout out to him. He's doing a really good job out there.
Amazing, man.
Yeah. So you can just catch us there on our social media platforms.
Yeah. Beautiful,
Can't wait to
beautiful.
find
You
out
have
more, man.
shared so much,
Yeah.
and you know, I wish we could have so much time with you
Yeah.
here, but we see that it is a busy day and you have to go somewhere. But lastly, if a young woman is listening right now and they would like to hear from you in terms of being motivated, what's one thing or a message that you have for them?
I would say, you know why you have that idea in mind. So don't listen to any or many opinions, right? Because when you're starting a business, there are a lot of opinions, a lot of discouragement from people. Just know your end goal, know why you started this and why you are starting this. The sky's the limit, and we are here for you. If you need anything, any assistance, we are right here for you.
I love that. As long as world,
Yeah,
you are
yeah,
right
yeah.
when you say the world is yours, like the late Super Mega has said. Of course, thank you so much, man. Giving ascension.
We're at the top, man, and we are the
Definitely.
only people to ask now, guys. How does it feel to be at the top? I will tell you, man.
It feels
It
amazing. It's
feels
wonderful
amazing,
to
man.
be at the top.
Yeah, and of course, you are wondering, man, in terms of the program, what is going to be happening. I have it right here, as the welcome and opening remarks will be done by Mrs. Remofilwe Setsedi, who is a program director for Ascend Her program.
You should see her because they had they put out a post, a call for people to, send through through and apply with a little short clip of themselves to be an MC. Man,
Nice.
this woman
Nice.
is well spoken. She is confident.
Yeah.
She's giving ascension.
The
you know,
energy.
she's giving the right kind of energy for
Yeah.
this kind
Yeah.
of program. And yeah, man, I heard. I'm guessing, I'm hoping that we can also have a little moment and speak to her, you
Of
know,
course,
as
of
the
course.
MC, and, you know, get to know her a little bit, because, you know,
Yep.
we here at the Vooka Breakfast Show, we're all about getting to know you up close and personal.
Yeah, and of course, what you do, because whatever that you do may hold so much value to someone else who is looking up to you. So it is very important that whatever profile you have or whatever that you do for yourself, it's information and, you know, the criteria that you serve upon yourself, it is very much helpful. Yep. Yeah,
I
starting
love
to
it,
get
Mother
in there.
Nature.
It's
Mother
August.
Nature is like, you know what? It's August. It's windy. What are you thinking
We have
about
to
on
give
a
it
rooftop
to
with those
you.
banners?
Yeah, and then some of the opening address will be from Mrs. Nomtandazo Shabang, who is a
Yeah.
group executive of entrepreneurship programs at AEDC. You know, so many women, men, who are doing wonderful and having those high roles, you know, in women empowerment, because that's why sometimes it is very important to just ask and just be in the presence of women, because you can learn a lot. You know,
Yes.
whether you're a guy or whether you're a woman, you can learn a lot and you can take something home to share with your friends and families, to say, this is what I have learned. And I think in this modern day and time, this is a new system that we can apply in our daily lives,
Yeah.
right? Because these women, they're sharing so much sentiment, you know, and they are going to share so much sentiment, and it's something that we do not want to miss. And of course, you do not want to miss. But yeah, I think, you know, growing up, I want to become a speaker in such events, man.
A speaker.
You know, yeah.
What value do you think you can bring to such events?
I bring so much value,
Like,
you know,
the energy.
handsomeness.
The handsomeness.
Kisabontle.
Like, nobody cares about your face, Mo. Nobody.
They will. Immediately when I step into the room, they're like, okay, we see you, but what do you have? Immediately when I step into that, a stage and start speaking, I will just appreciate what women who are the women that I have surrounded myself with have done to my life, you know. Because I think it's something that so many men shy away from.
True.
No, you know, behind each and every successful man, there is a woman.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Guys, you know, all you have to do is look at nature. Nature is about balance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yin and yang. And I love to see the fact that there are men here.
Yes.
As much as this is an Ascend Her business conference, there are men here who are also getting involved and, you know, taking part
Yeah.
in uplifting and upholding the women that tomorrow will be the nurturers and, you know, co-creators of society that they live in. And that is essentially what we should be striving to be.
Yeah.
You know, a collective and connected community
Yeah.
and society that lives side by side each other, uplifting and upholding each other in
Yeah.
our strengths and within our weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you know, knowing and understanding each other's weaknesses and, you know, working with each other's strengths.
Yeah.
That is, I feel like that's the one way for us, you know, to progress and go forward as a society,
Yeah.
instead of always focusing on what breaks us and what tears us apart.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, there's always talks of how women can never, you know, be in the space, in one space together and actually do something productive.
Yeah.
Because of course, you know, we've been made to compete for everything. But I love that we're breaking that mold and
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
you know what, I am not about to compete with her for anything. Instead, I'm going to collaborate. Because,
Yeah.
you know, at the top, in actual fact, at the top, it's not about competition. It's about collaboration.
Yeah. And, you know, I love the movements and of course that are being pushed out there, because we still celebrating Women's Month.
Yes,
right?
and
Yeah.
we're coming,
Yeah.
and I love that you actually said that, Mo, because, you know, Women's Month is coming to a close, right? This is the last week
Yeah.
of Women's Month, and we're really like closing it off on a high note.
Yeah.
A definite high notes, and amazing things are coming here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. You know, so many giveaways and a lot more things that we have in store for the women and people, the Vooka Nation. You guys that rise with us and not just wake up.
Yeah.
And of course, you rise and you do what? You shine.
You shine, man, and you show up, you know. And this, of course, goes back to the women who always support us each and every morning. Masiti sivugile.
Yes,
and we will see the notification right there. Yeah, man,
you see, it's always the women, man, that will
yeah.
come and show you the support, that will come and show you the love. And that is why I want us to focus today on those kind of women.
Yeah.
The ones who collectively uphold and empower each other.
Yeah, and speaking of those women, of course, they are with us everywhere we go. Whether we are outside studio, whether we are outside of the country, they will always come flooding in our comment section, and we really appreciate what you guys are doing for us. The comment section, Zinzi Elizabeth came through saying, Molweni, masivugeni, and yes, indeed, sivugile.
Hey,
we are still right here. And then she came back and said, Sinilindile kaloku. The wait is over.
Don't panic, keep it organic. We are here.
We are here. And then Refilo says, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Mavuka Amahle. Thank you so much, Fifi. And then Tembi saying, Haibo, dumelang ko sentine. Aria sentine. Sabano sema sabab saying. This is where we are. We are breathing umoya or different. You know, ama accent.
We are part of the richest square mile in Africa.
Yeah. And then she come through saying, you look stunning, Vooka team. Thank you so much, Mam Timbi. Thank you so much. That is very much appreciated. Then Zinzi saying, Sabawela, your location. Hope you guys have fun and enjoy the conference. You all are looking beautiful and handsome. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. That's what we do, man. And yes, we are going to have fun. Yo, imagine coming to Sentin and not having fun.
But whom?
Whomst are you? So, hey, having fun is what we do, man, on a daily basis. So please do make sure that you stay with us, because there's so much fun is going to be had. If you have any question you want to pose to us right now, we are live on YouTube. Please do so. All right, we will answer you because we can see your comments coming through. Tembi saying, Vooka team, be a blessing, Lapo Essentin. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday it is. And of course, we are here to represent, guys. Representation is important, right?
Exactly. Just because we're in Santon doesn't mean we have to change accents, TC.
What accent? I
I'm
speak
joking.
like this on a
I'm
daily
joking.
basis.
I'm joking. Yeah, you see, that's the gas coming to Santon, right? But that's what I meant to go to this Isantin, how you talk came to a gas.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And now you also took a gas while later something
Yeah. You know, but that's the one thing,
Yeah.
the love, that's one thing I love about my life.
Yeah.
It's that, like I explained before, I'm a well-rounded individual, man. I know how it feels to have everything, and then I also know how it feels to have nothing. And I know how it feels to have a carefree life, but I also know how it is to struggle. So, I mean, it gives you balance.
Yeah. And speaking about balance, you know that we never leave you hanging in terms of what is happening in our country when it comes to the news headline, right? So we're just going to let some of the information, sink in and process it. If you have anything to say, please do make sure that you comment down below by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. But with that being said, let us just take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to give you your latest news headlines. So please just stay put right there.
right, Vooka Nation. So we're gonna give you the news, and Mo's gonna come back and give you the sports, because just because we're in Santa doesn't mean that we can't give you your regular programming. So it's getting lit inside, but let's give you your news. So as of today, 27th of August, Sibia denied wrongdoing and insists innocence amid corruption claims. So the Deputy Police Commissioner, Shadrach Sibia, maintains his innocence amid corruption allegations, stating he's confident he's done nothing wrong. The court challenges against the enforced leave has also been delayed as he seeks a special case allocation implicated by KZN Commissioner Ntantla Mkhwanazi. Sibia argues, due legal processes must be followed and believes the judge will clear him. So when the story develops, we'll keep you up to date on what's happening. And then also on the second headline, Russian job ads raise alarm over trafficking young women. The SA Youth Business Chamber warns that local influencers may be promoting a Russian scam job linked to trafficking and exploitation. Young people are urged to stay cautious and verify overseas offers through DIRCO, the Labour Department, or SA embassies. And then on your last news headline, board challenges NHI Act legally over poor public consultation. The National Health Insurance Act faces renewed legal opposition. The Board of Healthcare Founders has petitioned the Constitutional Court to declare the act unlawful, citing inadequate public consultation. Several other bodies, including the SA Medical Association, Hospital Association of SA, Private Practitioners Forum, and Trade Union Solidarity, has also launched legal challenges against the NHI. So that's it for your news this morning, and we'll now head to Moketi for your sports news.
All right, thank you, Mr. B, for those news headline. Now heading over to your sports news, starting off with the first sports headline. Emotional Williams impresses in defeat on US Open in return. Venus Williams delivered a spirited performance in her first round US Open loss to Karolina Muchova, showing flashes of brilliance despite limited match play over the past 18 months. Battling Sjögren's syndrome and fibroids, the 45-year-old reflected emotionally on her journey back to health. Her clean ball striking and improved serve silenced critics, though she faded in the final set. Williams, making a record 25th appearance, remains uncertain about future tournaments, emphasizing her love for the game and desire to play on her own terms. Now, heading over to your next headliner, Simone Kruger credits her supporter system after 2025 SA Sports Awards honor. Simone Kruger won both Junior Star of the Year and Sportswoman of the Year with a disability at the 2025 SA Sports Awards, beating Kgothatso Montjane and Minke Jans van Rensbeck. Grateful for her support system and national recognition, Kruger praised the sports ministry for celebrating excellence. She completed in discuss and shot put at next month's Para-Athletic World Championship in India, aiming to build on her successful 2024 season. The double win has motivated her to push harder and strive for more achievements. On your last headline, heading over to your football news, Jamie Carragher slams Liverpool stars after late Newcastle win. Liverpool edged Newcastle 3-2 in a dramatic Premier League clash sealed by 16-year-old Rio Ngumoha stoppage time winner. Despite the win, Jamie Carragher slammed Liverpool's performance, praising Newcastle's resilience after going down to 10 men. Goals from Gravenberch and Ekitike gave Liverpool a 2-0 lead, but Newcastle hit back through Gimares and Osula. Carragher criticized Salah and Konate, crediting Van Dijk for holding the defense together. Eddie Howe lauded his team's spirit despite injuries and suspension. Liverpool remain title contenders while Newcastle's fight hints at the top tier potential. That is all for your news headline. If you have any opinion or you want to share some sentiments on these headlines, please do make sure by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and let us know what you think. But in the meantime, let us just take a short break and then we will come back just to give you your daily dose accompanied by that energetic start to your day.
All right, we are back. We are back, and the sun is starting to shine this
Yeah.
way. Just as a Wednesday motivation, hey guys, you know when we left, ne, it seemed like UK. It was just
Really?
grey sky. Yeah, it was grey skies
Oh.
Don't know,
everywhere.
in the UK, like the sky is mostly grey. Don't see the sun.
It's grey sky. Yeah.
Never been
yeah.
to the UK, man.
Okay.
You've never been there. Bro, you've
Nah.
never been, like, really? You've never been to the UK?
United of KwaZulu Natal. United KwaZulu. Alrighty there. Alrighty. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
And I
okay.
remember just before we left, I'm like, let me take a jersey because it was a bit cold in
Yeah.
the morning. But yeah, I took the jersey, and there's the jersey, and I haven't even worn it, and I don't even think I will wear it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So yeah,
I am so sorry.
TC out here being a DJ.
Hey,
She says
we
she's sorry,
know,
and then she
man.
could
Hey.
like.
Isentinians and so.
Yeah, but in terms of the news headlines, the second one that we read
Yeah.
about the trafficking of young girls, that the whole country is now getting involved. You know, so it's really getting serious. But then also, there has to be some education that needs to be given to these young girls.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about this in the car when we were streaming, that for me personally, I've seen that when it comes to the different platforms, Instagram and TikTok. With Instagram, just before TikTok came out, the pressure was to look perfect.
Yeah.
Because on Instagram, you have to make sure that you compose the shot,
Yeah.
you tuck in your tummy, and if it's not the way you want it, you don't publish it.
Yeah.
So we can safely say that with TikTok, all of the content is curated,
Yeah.
right? There's a whole lot of filters. I know people that take pictures. They would not upload a picture until it goes through some form of a filter.
Yeah.
You've seen those.
Yeah.
You've seen
I
those.
have,
No,
I have,
apply
yeah.
a filter. And
Yeah.
it even got to the point where with smartphones, they saw that there's just a huge gap in the market in as far as incorporating filters at the shooting level. Because remember, with Instagram, you've got a photo, and then you upload, you filter it through Instagram, and then you
Yeah.
upload it. But now, the smartphones of today, in your camera,
There's a lot, man.
you can snap a
Yeah.
photo that is already filtered. So it does create a huge concern where a lot of people are wanting to be content creators. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but we need the harsh truth about being a content creator, because
yeah.
I'll tell you this, for someone like me that has worked in various jobs, it's still the same thing as a corporate job. The only difference here is that, unlike a corporate job where you have to be tied to a desk
Yeah.
for 7 to 8 hours, but here you still are shooting, you're still working, you're still analyzing, you're still putting out content. So
yeah.
if it is a gig that promises you short returns, or returns in a short period of time, trust me, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Like, it doesn't exist. Shortcuts, we've seen it in history. Shortcuts do not exist. So even in this case,
Yeah.
being a content creator and being promised something overseas, just like that,
Hey,
it doesn't work.
I mean, I think with everything that we look as, negative, as like your shortcuts, because nowadays in modern time, they make sure that each and every negative thing, they turn it and make it look positive, so that whenever we speak about instant gratification, getting things in the now, it's possible, right? I'm seeing what is happening right now on TikTok when these influencers come saying, I bought a tablet with R1 from, this shipping company, right? And people ask themselves, man, like, how do you buy this whole, device or gadget with R1?
Doesn't make sense.
You see?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So when you look deep and study social media in itself, you know, what it comes with and what people demand, I'm seeing with vlogs now, people don't like, people are shying away or they're moving away from, you know, these vlogs where you are in Sandton, waking up in this beautiful apartment. Now people are gunning for, you know, when you wake up, those vlogs now, they're starting to get more likes because people are like, nah, man, this person is portraying what real life looks like.
Yep.
You
And
know?
that's more sustainable because in Dishi,
Yeah.
you already have it,
Mm.
but you don't have a gold-plated shower.
Yeah.
You don't have that. You can have it for 1 or 2 days. For 1 or 2 days, just because maybe there was a business trip and whatnot, or bless or something.
Yeah.
But in Dish, you've got that, and that's the kind of content that people are looking for.
Yeah.
The way it's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
So the whole notion
I
of
mean,
wanting to
also-
look.
Okay, okay, it's real, but I get it. We all have different realities.
Yeah.
When you're saying it's real, it's more relatable. I want you to use the word relatable rather than real.
Okay, can I use both?
Okay.
Because if I were to vlog as if I am living a certain lifestyle, and I know that it's not true, it's not real.
It's not authentic,
Yeah.
but it is real. Anything you conceive and you create is real.
But if someone comes to you and says, look, I'm out here, I just spent 1, 2, and 3, I've got a Louis Vuitton, that's and some of them buy fake goods, you know that,
Okay.
right? So that's not real. It's fake.
That's not authentic, it's fake, yes.
Yeah.
So people are starting to look at the analytics of what will really get me the numbers, you know, on TikTok. Because there was a thread, you know, where people were like, no, man. Yes, people do it for the content. You know, Hore, when you wake up, you don't make your bed. You know, you don't clean your house. But when you start putting on... Yeah. When you start putting on a tripod stand...
They wake up like,
Yeah. And maybe as your sibling, I'm like, hi, Bunkosiam. When now you only do these things on a certain time and when there's a tripod stand. But when there's no tripod stand, when there's no phone, you're not doing your chores. And we fight you at home. That's why, like, no, guys, whatever that you see, whatever that you buy into, hey, this thing is... Hey.
Jeez.
Yeah, be mindful of the cable.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what's happening? Is someone throwing something on the 20th floor?
Yeah, because
I just take it down.
the
Steve.
audacity.
The audacity.
Yeah, like people are starting to realize, guys. Like people are starting to realize, hore, it's selling something. You know, it's a unique selling point. Hore, no man. If I wake up and you know, show myself waking up and you know, making my bed, and things like that, and walking, you know, in a dusty place, they're like, okay, this person, man, is giving us something that we relate to, right? As you spoke about, you know, relating to these things, because when vlogs started, you know, they started with this huge, like the aesthetics, man, having this apartment, making yourself breakfast and things like that. But people are like, no, man, what if I can take my phone, go to the township, you know, and start doing and showing people my real life? Because I don't have an apartment, I don't have a car.
You don't, bro. You don't.
You know,
and even if it's Hlangani Texini, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
But if I see your Instagram influencers that have portrayed a lifestyle that is lavish, and then we meet a Brie,
Yeah.
so, like, I'll also be confused with her, but how? How is it that you are taking flights?
Today you are paying 12 rand.
12 rand.
Right? And people, I think when you look deep, when you go investigate this whole Alabuga thing, people are not seeing that social media plays a very huge role. And when I speak about a huge role, is these syndicates, they have been there, right? And they've been looking for ways to shut them down, right? And these programs, they saw that Norman bringing maybe 3 girls in a year is not enough, guys. Let's be smart with it. Let's look at what these young girls like in these days. They like traveling. When you speak about working remotely in an international company, or even going there to work in the company itself, going there physically and work there, it looks nice and it looks like a dream. It's a dream that's being sold to these young girls in social media. So every day, scammers, they're getting smart. They're learning our ways.
Yeah.
They're looking into
Because they're also on social media, man.
Exactly.
They're also on these platforms
They're
that
watching
you think
us.
that are only for certain kinds
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
And they also know how to infiltrate spaces. So you have to be like mindful of that.
Yeah.
It's like the saying of, when people create content, like with everybody creating content about everything.
Yeah.
The point of creating content is to give some sort of insight, entertainment, or value to whoever's consuming the content. Whether it's for entertainment purposes, they find it funny, so it relieves it gives them that illusion that they're relieved of their current reality. It's that kind of stuff. So I mean, these people are in these spaces.
Yeah.
So they can also get access to the information
Exactly.
you're accessed to.
Yeah. So things like your syndicates, man, human trafficking. There's someone out there who has been exposed and it's the first time they hear the, human trafficking. Because when I grew up, I thought it's like traffic cops,
Wow.
when they
Wow,
say,
Mo.
like honestly, because you are trying to match the human and trafficking. Like, okay, maybe it's humans working in traffic, controlling traffic, but you learn to understand or name, and human trafficking is basically taking these girls and turning them to whatever in other countries. Now people are starting to wake up. Now they're starting to pay attention to the name itself, human trafficking, because a lot of people did not understand. So others, they say, ish, okay, Mo, you can tell me about this Alabuga thing. Like, I still don't understand, what's human trafficking? How does it work? So how do we, and how does the police enforcement get the information to people to say, man, maybe you are not exposed to such things, but let us teach you. Because perfect example is your girls who work at clubs, they have friends, and when they go and recruit their friends, they're just telling them about, no, Chomi, it's just a job. You go there and do this. But when she gets there, she gets exposed to, things that where she was never even told about.
So the way I see it is that it has somehow gotten smarter, as you've said, because in the past it used to be stories of people being abducted, where they were literally taken forcefully, right? Now it's more of an enticement, right? So they will put up an ad to say, get 1, 2, and 3, come work here, and obviously they try and take away all of the possible resources that you can use to find your way back. So the question for me is that the 22-year-olds that go there, are we looking at them being used for drugs, sex, or other malicious things, or is it a case of labor,
cheap labor?
Labor, because it's possible that, based on the comments that we read yesterday, it's not as if they were saying that they were being used for sex.
Yeah.
They were being violated in that sense.
But they were being used for cheap labor because they spoke about chemicals and all of that.
Drones. War drones.
Exactly. So maybe they're just using them for labor.
Yeah.
Possibly.
But if all we're in Sandton, right? Most companies in Sandton are actually overseas companies that have established themselves in South Africa because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to operate here. Where some call centers, many call centers are in your Randburgs, your Rosebanks, your Santons, but they don't cater for South African consumers. It's international call centers that where the people working there are catering to clientele that are not even in South Africa.
Yeah.
So, but you see, You know,
so
it
many.
it happens in different ways, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not that it's that each way is bad,
Yeah.
but it's in the sense of, you know, presented to these young women and these people, because
Yeah.
it's not only women. Not only women are being
True.
exploited in these syndicates, in these cases.
Yeah.
Right. It's just people in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
So we have to look at, we need real solutions for these real problems, and to actually look at this as a society together, to see how we can alleviate these social ills together, because they, as much as, you know, you might be sitting here in Santon and you're like, whatever happens is Soweto ang affecting me,
Yes.
but
Yes.
some way, somehow it will.
Yes, and it does. And we are seeing that whatever information that is being given to people, that information contains ways to make someone vulnerable. Like, how do we make people targets without them knowing that they're targets?
They're being targeted.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, so they just put and they package everything, whether it's looking for people, jobs, you know, trying to recruit people, trying to, you know, just sell people dreams to say, no, you
So
can work.
do you feel like more like the constant reports of the unemployment crisis and or the doomsday kind of media broadcasts?
Yeah.
Do you feel like those are actually assisting these scammers and these people who are actually coming in to take advantage of these people? Or do you think that doing that actually
Yeah.
assists and gives them, catalyzes the organizations and these activities?
Yeah, because I was, you know, looking it in that viewpoint because it makes sense. I think I saw a post, not a post, but just a report, you know, talking about the unemployment rate in South Africa increasing. And then the next week, you hear this case of Alabuga. So I think, yes, they use such information, you know, to target people because now they know how we can infiltrate easier because people are desperate for jobs. They are not looking for jobs. They are desperate for jobs. So how about we sell them something that, you know, they wouldn't even hesitate to ask around or no, guys, what is it that I'm doing? Are you guys licensed? How long have you been operating and things like that? So they're using these kind of things like your unemployment rate because each and every time, I remember when I was watching the CNN, the BBC, South Africa is mentioned when you look at the highest unemployment countries in the world. So imagine BBC, how many people watch broadcasting like your news in BBC around the world, and they see an opportunity to say, no, man, in South Africa, there are a lot of people who are seeking employment.
Young, especially young, 18 to 35.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still part of that bracket.
You know, so catch them while they're still young. And now they're also looking at the criteria to say, okay, at what age do you allow young women or young people, you know, to start working? And a lot of countries, they start at a really, really early age. And those countries, they are not even reported to say there is human trafficking and things like that. So those reports, because digitally we are becoming more advanced. So people can access our database to look into, okay, how many people are working in this country and who are suffering the most, right? And you will, I mean, I'm definitely sure there's countries who like traffic older people out there who are suffering with mental illness. They use them to open mental illness institution. And
No, I
yeah.
mean, I remember, you know, okay, this was a movie, but you know, it's like they make it seem it's like an island where it seems like you're going for a holiday, like
Yeah.
a getaway, but they experimenting on people for pharmaceutical.
Is it
purposes.
Fantasy Island?
Not Fantasy Island, but I know.
Yeah.
Make it no, but yeah, it's something similarly to that. But It's always a thing of now. The
yeah.
game is psychological, and I've
Yeah.
noticed it's been psychological for a while, but like now it's so sneaky, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
sly that it's so unnoticeable. They're playing on like
Eish.
psychology. They're
True.
using
True.
psychology, but they've been using psychology on us. But it's a thing of now. It's you're on such a scale that it's almost incorporated
Yeah.
into your life.
Yeah. I mean, research is being done. And when you look people, of course, who are in the field of science, they will tell you that I've been working on this problem for the past 40 years.
Hey.
And you ask yourself, "Hore, hi, man, like what does a person do, man? And what is it that intrigues them to spend so much time and, doing this research or this study? And when you look into these syndicates, these people are doing the same thing, right? And they can also work with these scientists to say, nah, man, in your field of study, when you study the human mind, when you study the psychology of human beings, what is it that you have found? What is it that you think human beings are, they are capable of doing? Right. So it's things like this you need to ask yourself to say, hey, man, people out there that are doing more research and more study on people in terms of how to make them targets and how to make them vulnerable. So it's such things when you look at this whole Alabuga situation. But please do make sure that, tell us your sentiments, your opinions right there by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. While we let this information digest, let us take a short break and we will be back after this.
Hi guys, can you hear me? I can hear you. What do you guys have in mind to discuss today? Yeah, I can see you guys. I don't hear very much. Can you hear me at all? I can hear you perfectly, yeah. I hear going back. Morning. Thanks so much for having me. I'm very well this morning. Lovely to be on a show highlighting women's achievements. It's very difficult to put in a society where there's so little economic opportunity. And you have a scenario where people are desperate. I think all we can do is try to teach young women that they need to trust themselves a little bit more, and that when they feel that sense of something about this is off, I'm not comfortable here, whether that's in a job interview that's not really a job interview, or whether it's a boyfriend trying to get them to do something, that they feel comfortable saying no. We actually have to empower girls from an early age to be comfortable to say no. That really is the foundation of what we need to do. I'm not really familiar with the act because it largely deals with criminal prosecutions. So I do criminal work very, very seldom. It's something that I only do when it comes up in one of my, domestic violence matters where someone's assaulted, something like that. So I don't do criminal work directly. I have been part of the original training, which the Department of Justice did on this act when it first came out. And that was really around sensitizing prosecutors that basically any person under the control of other people needs investigation. And the act gives the police greater powers and tools to do that investigation and prosecute without having to prove the exact intention of the person. So remember that in the Children's Act, basically any caregiver can obtain parental rights and responsibilities via the Children's Court, but you cannot take control of other people without some kind of legal, backup at some stage. Any woman who feels she's in a situation to get out of, she needs to get out of. You have the power to do whatever you need. The power to do whatever you need. But the act is really pertaining to prosecution and investigation by the state
very
agencies.
interesting that you mentioned that, and some of the acts that go along with it, because a lot of people right now are asking themselves in terms of finding justice, to say what is the law doing with it, and what does it say with what is happening, right? But we see that you have alongside you have walked alongside Winnie Mandela to Dalimpofu, from apartheid repression to constitutional democracy, and today you are here to break it all down with us. Family disputes, contracts, road accident funds, and constitutional rights. And when you get deep into law and democracy, in 1994, South Africa shifted from oppression to democracy, but you saw the violence and uncertainty firsthand, like the Zulu impi marching on the ANC building. Looking back 30 years later, do you think our legal system has lived up to promise of justice for all?
two different ways to run a society, right? Ways to run a society, right? They're never subjected to apartheid. They're never subjected to apartheid. You can't even begin to understand how absolutely rightsless everybody was. Even as a white South African, having a political opinion was something you could be prosecuted for. You could vanish into a jail and nobody would even know where you were. So we were at the extreme end of our lives. State control of our lives. On every level. On every level. That was an incredibly repressive way to live. For everybody. The upside was that you didn't have no room for crime to happen. There was no room for crime to happen. Now we are at the other end where we've had 30 years of an amazing law and democracy. I mean the number of laws that have been passed, the number of laws that have been passed, the transformation of our society is profound. But at the same time, we've gone too far down the line of destroying the state's capacity to enforce law. And so we've got to the point of the rule of law, the actual structure of law works, and whether law is ever enforced has been undermined. There's a place between those two things.
Very, very interesting. And thank you so much, for sharing rooms, with people like Winnie Mandela and Dalim Pofu. And it must have shaped your outlook on justice. So what lessons from those years still influence how you approach law today?
Sorry, just refresh that for me. Just say what lessons
from those years still influence how you approach law today. Because you studied at Wits during some of the most dangerous years of apartheid, and sharing classrooms with people like Winnie Mandela, and Dalim Pofu.
Well, I think in some ways the seeds of our troubles were sowed at that point, Back in 1994, Mrs. Mandela was going around campus with her five bodyguards. They were wholly chair of our Black Students Association.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
It's going to be a better place. He was really tested when he was the chair of IEC. He made the right decisions. He made sure that our democracy was protected. He made sure that our democracy was protected. It doesn't matter what system you have or what laws you have. If each individual South African believes in our democracy and believes in our democracy, we can and should make this a better country every day. As we did then, as many thousands by participating in the struggle on every level, we did society in a completely different way from the way it was when we were young people. Believe that we can continue that journey. Where we are right now is not the best we can do.
Very interesting. And
Sorry, Leslie, it seems like Mweket is having a moment right there. We're having technical issues. Of course, as we've mentioned, we're out here on location at the Ascend Her Business Conference 2025. So a bit patient with us. Of course, we want to, have an insightful conversation because, of course, you have you've got quite a lot of expertise, and we want to get to know more about what you can, share regarding to the knowledge that you have. So, Wicked, you can continue. I think she's okay. You're okay on your side, right, Leslie?
Okay. I'm fine. As long as you guys can hear me, I'm good. As long as you guys can hear me, I'm good.
And
okay, see?
In some of the work, we see here that you have trained social workers on the Children's Act. If you could tell every South African parent one key right their child has that it is often ignored or misunderstood, what would it be?
So I'm one of the things I do for fun on the side. Things I do for fun on the side is with all my free time. I am board member of an organization called the Coalition of Anglican Children's Homes. The Anglican Church. So we have a history of Anglican Church. We have a history of children's homes. So we run two children's homes, and I'm on the board. Run two children's homes, and I'm on the board of the oversight of those homes. Children's homes. I've been doing that for about 20 odd years, and one of the wonderful opportunities that that has given me is that we, as the Coalition of Anglican Children's Homes, are one of the more experienced old homes, and so the Department of Social Development, and so the Department of Social other social workers and social auxiliary workers from other NGOs, everything from Joburg Mental Health to the very. I have a lot of experience in the children's law and the Children's Act, and so every year I do a training course with the social workers, taking them through the technicalities of the Children's Act and how to write a good report and how to evaluate evidence when they're doing an evaluation. What's going on in a child's life? What's going on in a child's life? The problem? Where are the solutions? The problem? Where are the solutions? How to put that into a report which the court can understand.
And one would want to ask if, is there awareness out there that is being opposed onto parents in terms of knowing Children's Act and the Children's Law?
I think it's still very. Some of the people aren't particularly aware of. Communities in South Africa had different experiences of the Children's Act. So before 2010. In the white community, there were a lot of people who were taken away by the social workers. That was sort of the way in which the system worked. They experienced the system, or whoever changed the settlement agreement. That they had changed the regime between mom and dad, or whether they were never married and mom and dad are not satisfied with how residents in contact are working out for their children. And the Children's Court will assist them to resolve that dispute.
Very interesting that you mentioned that.
And the Children's Court will assist them to resolve that dispute.
Very interesting that you mentioned that.
I'm glad you spoke about that, to know of those societies, especially when it comes to, being taken care of and being protected. So what happens now? What is the process one can take when they have noticed that perhaps a child is, in danger or is living in undesirable situation? What is the step? What is the first step to take that you can advise somebody to take towards, ensuring now that child gets assistance?
That you would take. So that is what's called. So that is what's called. That protection. And the process for it is that you would go. And the process for it is that you would go to your you would get a form. You would get a form depending on how each children's court does it. You would speak to the registrar at the children's. So every magistrate's court has got a children's court. Wherever you are, that magistrate's court will give you that form, and they will immediately take that to the magistrate, then decide either to give you a court date to come to court and persuade the court of your case, or they will worker or a police officer is immediately dispatched to remove a child if it's a matter of absolute difficulties on another matter. Suck it up, honey. Suck it up, honey. Marital rape. Marital rape. Man, you had an obligation. If you married a man, you had an obligation to him whenever he asked. With him whenever he asked. That wasn't 100 That wasn't 100. That was when I was at university. That was when I was at university. Actually come very, very long way. Very long way. You know, not heaven yet. You know, domestic violence system. Domestic violence system is very much better than a lot of other places. Honestly, a lot of other places. And our children's courts are a hell of a lot better. And our children's courts are a hell of a lot better than a lot of other countries that are, better resourced. One would imagine than we are. We aren't there yet, and sort of homicidal violence against women is still a massive problem. But the reality is that for women today, most of us wouldn't even think about staying in an abusive relationship. It would just be a question of how long it took us and what the process was to get out. When I was at university, a man was allowed to beat his wife with a stick not thicker than his finger. I mean, that was not hundreds of years ago. That was like 35 years ago. So some need to acknowledge the progress that we have made. The difficulty of violence against women and violence against men. I mean, as a young man in this country, it's hard to survive other men, right? So the problem is a problem of violence, not just a problem of violence against women. And some of those problems come from families where children are taken away from their mothers very early. We're not necessarily respecting a child's need for his mother and a need to raise an emotionally capable child if we want that child to grow up and take his place in the world and not be violent, abusive, crazy on a number of levels.
What practical advice would you give an ordinary person who feels powerless but they need the justice?
Look, I think South Africa tries very much harder than a lot of other places to give access to justice. And as far as children are concerned, I think we've got, when I compare us with the UK and New Zealand, which are the two countries that I travel to quite often, we have a great deal more access to justice. You don't need a lawyer to approach the children's court. You don't. The system is set up that the registrar is supposed to assist you in completing your forms, and the justice system is supposed to help you in bringing your matter before the court. I can assure you that every week that I'm in court, there are many unrepresented people, your children, whether you have a lawyer or not. But if you persist and if you keep going for access to his children, or if he's going to maintenance court to avoid paying for his children, there's a lot of people out there complaining about children who haven't actually ever brought an application, who've never asked their mother for contact at all. So as far as children are concerned, I think our access to justice is good. As far as the civil courts are concerned, you're always going to have some difficulties in getting access to justice, but probono.org is a great website. It is set up by the Law Society, by attorneys in private practice, and it refers people to an attorney who does the kind of work that you need. So if you've got a labor practice matter, for example, it'll refer you to a labor lawyer in your area. If you've got a matter about accident, it'll refer you to an attorney. Has to do 20 hours of free work every year. Many of us do a lot more than 20 hours of free work in a year. Only double matters. So where, for example, the court wants a child to have their own lawyer, lawyers in private practice will be appointed to represent that child separately.
Will bring so much relief to some of the people who didn't know this kind of information. So with that being said, in terms of road accident fund, right, you once opposed the amendments that shaped the current road accident fund system. Today, people still complain about the long delays and the underpayments. Do you believe that the road accident, or has it failed its original purpose?
Oh, I love being asked this question. So I was a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed 25-year-old when I first made submissions to a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young politician in charge of the Department of the Parliamentary Subcommittee on Transport called Patricia DeLille back in 95 or 6 or 7. And at that time, we didn't have a road accident fund. And we as lawyers told them, do not create it to do them. So Mutual and Federal had 7 days because it had a big department. Sanlam had 7 days because it had a big department. SA Eagle had 2 days. So if you had an accident on the 10th of January, that day belonged to, let's say, Guardian Insurance Company, right? Guardian Insurance Company paid the rent of its own business, and the government paid Guardian Insurance and Sanlam and Santam and all of those people a set amount per case that they handled. There was like a management board of 5 people who basically oversaw the system. All the employees worked for the insurance companies, and they got paid a set amount to manage the process. So it was in their best interests to get the thing finished and pay the person or close or refuse the case as soon as possible. Did the system work? Yes, it worked perfectly. It worked fine. I don't remember the only case that I had, and I haven't done this work since my daughter was born, 24 years more of this work. So please understand, I do not have skin in this game anymore. I haven't done this kind of work for 20 years, but I'm very aware of the people who are doing it. In 6 months if they were little ones. Substantial big cases. The Road Accident Fund is filled with people who do not know how to do their job, and they therefore cannot make a decision. And there is no point blaming lawyers because the people those lawyers are negotiating with are, with the greatest respect, total idiots. You asked me, I told you. I'm sorry. It's probably also not the answer you were looking for, but
Yeah. Because I don't know if you knew, as you mentioned, as you mentioned that people who work there, they don't know what they do. I think it was last month there were employees who work at the Road Accident Fund who were suspended, for delaying some of the payments that need, to go to the beneficiaries. And when you mention this, when you say before the RAF came in, the cases would be solved in under 6 months. But now it is understandable, on how you have put it for us and just give us the clarity that we've always needed. Because there's someone out there who's like, I'm still waiting for my money. And my accident happened 10 years ago. Till today, I haven't received the money.
Yeah, you see, the difficulty is also that the government tries very hard to persuade you that the lawyers are the problem. But I want you to just think about something. There's one system which has lawyers involved, that's the Road Accident Fund. There's another system with no lawyers involved, and that is the Compensation Fund. Do you know anybody who got paid by the Compensation Fund? Anybody? Anybody at all? Anybody? No. Anybody at all? No. The whole system is so broken, it doesn't even exist anymore. Do employers still pay money into the compensation fund? Yes, we do. Where does that money go? The money gone. And because there are no lawyers in that system, there's no one pushing it with it. There's no one saying, but Mrs. Ndlovu hasn't got her money. It's just poor Mrs. Ndlovu. No phone, no email, no brilliant use of the English language, trying to manage it by herself. So for those people who think that getting rid of lawyers in the system is going to make it better, I promise you, it will be the end of getting any money out. What we need to do is government further away from that system. Because every amendment that they have made since the ANC came into power has taken the system further into... The Law Society told them, must be 2015, 2010 maybe, they said, please do a one-line amendment of the Road Accident Fund Act to say that foreigners do not qualify for these benefits. Because every country in the world excludes foreigners from this sort of system. If you go to Switzerland or America or England, you have to show that you've got travel insurance. So that if I have a car accident, it's not the government paying for me, it's my own money paying for me. You don't get a visa without that. But in South Africa, when we did that, the ANC government said, how? No, you can't exclude our brothers and sisters from... We said one day a Swiss actuary is going to file a claim for 500 million rand and the whole fund will be insolvent. That's exactly what happened 5 years later. And they still hadn't done that amendment.
Yeah, this is so much to process. I hope that we had so much time, to continue and just go deeper with this conversation so that people can understand. But before I, let you go, mediation versus litigation is some of the things that people are still struggling to find a huge distinctive between those two ways. You have also trained in mediation. Do you believe South Africans fight too much in court instead of resolving matters through dialogue? How can people better use mediation to without breaking the bank?
Yeah, this is one of those things. Me, I'm a litigator. I fight with people for money. That's what I do for a living. That's what I've done for 25 years. So you must understand I'm coming from my perspective, right? Mediation is a very good thing where you've got parties that have equal power. Babon? So when you and I are married, but you earn 100 times what I earn, and I'm a housewife and I've got 4 children, how am I mediating? That power relationship is so unequal that us trying to just sit together and have someone stroke our hand and say, now, sweetie, you guys can come to an agreement together. It's lovely, but it's not going to work, is it? When you're suing the Minister of Police because you got locked up for a weekend because you didn't want to pay bribe money on Friday night, you think mediation is going to work? I don't think so. I just... I just for everything, and I think there's a place for everything, and mediation has a lot of room in family law. But remember that there are a lot of women and men who have been abused, and to make them sit down and mediate with their abuser is really just to expose them to more abuse. So there is sort of a guideline that where there's been domestic violence, we shouldn't mediate, or we shouldn't force mediation. Or we should have greater protections in mediation, because mediation is a process whereby the parties craft their own solution to a problem. A legal enormous role to play. It's just been introduced in South Gauteng to get rid of our long backlog. Our very clever judge president has created some great rules, which hopefully are going to make mediation um, really work for people with commercial disputes, with family disputes, with road accident funds, with everything. But, the difficulty with mediating with some person from the road accident fund who doesn't know what they're doing is that mediation isn't going to make them any cleverer. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, wonderful. So, lastly, if you could speak to young law students today, especially women, what would you tell them about resilience, ethics, and carrying the torch of justice into the next generation?
there was a wonderful talk by an attorney from California who came out to do a presentation to Law Society a few years ago. And she said that as an attorney or lawyer, you can either choose to be a social parasite or you can choose to be a social engineer. And I think South Africa has really benefited from Black and white South Africans believing that the law is a way of making their society better. And I still see that in all the young people who I interview, every year for articles. And I really believe that we will continue to benefit from South Africans being social engineers and creating laws that change and make our society better.
Thank you so much for that. And yet, that was another powerful, know your rights conversation right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So before I let you go, if people want to get hold of you and with your
The Blake Attorney's website, we have things to try and be helpful, which is
Thank you so much for your time, and we wish that we can have this conversation once again, just to get in depth of what the law can do for one person who doesn't understand when they need. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I lost you at the end there. Our sound is not great.
I was just giving you my final remarks into. Thank you so much for spending, your time with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good day ahead of you, man.
You too. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Ah, man. There you have it right there, Vooka Nation. I hope that that information was thoughtful for you, to take matters into the court, or even, just have legal assistance, seek some matters into your own hand. As she has mentioned that so much can go wrong if you try to do things your own way. There are legal systems that are outlined for people out there to understand and to make use of them. So this is the time, to step up. And one other thing, if you are a parent out there, children's rights, if you go to court, it is free. You do not need a lawyer, right? An executor has to be there for you and do everything. One of the courts that brings so much justice and justice is guaranteed, it is the children's court. And that is what Leslie Blakes, has mentioned right here on the Vooka Breakfast. To share, or you had some of the questions, please do make sure that you send them on our YouTube comment section, of course, which is the Vooka Breakfast Show. Just use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. It is 11 o'clock on the dot. Of course, we're still out here at the venue for the Ascend Hair program that is entirely focused on making sure that women are empowered and bringing them into those leadership roles that they always yearn for. Just challenging this system, inequality system that has been placed by the past, legal systems that have been there, of course, for quite some years. But if you have anything that you want to share with us, please do not hesitate. And throughout our social media platforms, we are, of course, going to share the information in terms of you getting the legal aid that you need. But with that being said, I'm just going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're just going to conclude our day and just give you the remarks of what is taking place right here, and then we'll close it off. And yeah, there you have it, man. Beautiful conversation we're still having right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, and a conversation that you can learn from. And as you know that we're still celebrating Women's Month. It's still August, and we are joined by these powerful women, man, powerhouses, and we have been in conversations with Leslie Blake, who just offer legal advice and of course legal help, with people who need it. So I just hope that you will stay with us, and if you want to share some of your sentiments, you can do so, right? Yeah, so please do make sure that you stay with us and use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show just to connect with us. And not forgetting that across all social media platforms, Breakfast Show. Facebook is Vooka Breakfast Show. You need to just like and comment down below, because there are some competitions that we are running in which people should know and know what to do. So Amapelepele Pots and Pans bring you, exclusive prices and hampers that you can grab for yourself and your families. So hence, I make sure that we re-emphasize that you follow us so that you can win yourself some of those prizes.
Yeah, man. Just to close off this amazing Woman Crush Wednesday, we are going to wrap up with a beautiful, beautiful woman. You know what?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Today, it's just beauty, excellence, and of course, purpose. Boss babes doing it for themselves. And of course, just one last boss babe to come onto the Vooka Breakfast Show. She's about to come onto the stream and of course share a little bit about herself and of course what she is looking for and doing here at the Ascend Her Business Conference 2025. Welcome to the Vooka Breakfast Show, my beautiful lady.
Thank you. You guys look nice as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank
We're
you.
all Brenda like.
Likewise.
So, yeah, man, can you just introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers? And, of course, let us know exactly what it is you are doing here and what you hope to get out of today's proceedings.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. And good. Is it still morning? Good.
Yeah, it's
All
still
right,
morning.
All right. We've been
Thank
up.
God for that. I know that, right? We've been
We've
up.
been up.
Yeah.
All right. And good morning, a very good morning to all your listeners and also viewers. I'm Nomthandazo Shabango, and I am the group executive for AEDC. So we are actually the ones who are hosting the conference today.
Okay.
And as part of being the group executive for entrepreneurship programs, today we told ourselves to say, we have been supporting entrepreneurs generally, right? But there's nothing really that we do for women specifically.
Okay.
And looking also the gender gap in terms of participation of female entrepreneurs, it's quite low, right? So let's curate
Oh, look at us making history today in history.
program. So what I'm hoping to achieve is, as mentioned earlier, a successful conference. But most importantly, the women who are part of this conference, I would love for them when they leave, they have something tangible that they the persons who are sitting next to them, right? Or just the environment also.
Symbolically so, you guys chose the 20th floor, like the rooftop of the venue. You know, you just chose the venue as your venue, and of course it's on a rooftop. Speaking to ascension, right? Because like me and Mo have been saying, you know, have you ever wondered how it feels to be at the top? Well, guess what? We know how it feels because we're right there.
We are at the top,
Yes.
Charles. I love that. Exactly. So we actually strategically chose this place because we're more like, not everyone comes from Sandton, right? I'm from literally the hood. So coming to Joburg, and I'm from Pumalanga, and coming to Joburg where you get to see the skyscrapers and you're more like, oh my God, I can
mean-
actually, right?
Yeah.
So I believe some of the women who are part of the conference can be inspired
Yeah.
by not just the words, but also being in an environment, because I believe in power of like the environment.
Yeah,
the
scenery,
spaces,
yeah.
Exactly, the spaces to the program itself.
Yeah.
So today we will be choosing the top 10 who will be part of the Business Accelerator program. We had the challenge earlier this month. They pitched their businesses, so we'll be taking the top 10 that South Africa has.
Yeah.
And in that top 10, we'll then be supporting them for 12 months, right? Starting from now in August till next year. So I am looking forward to also seeing a change. When next year we host this for a different cohort, I want the ladies who we started with to be to be mentors, but also like see an impact in what they
Yes.
have been, and that speaks back to the problem that we've identified as an institute and the reason why we exist. Right, we've seen that there's quite a low entrepreneurial activity amongst young people. And there's high unemployment rates, so we try to at least bridge the gap and say, how can we support entrepreneurs, right, to build sustainable businesses? Because there's also a thing of, yes, you have a business, but it's just a hand to mouth, right? We want to change that narrative to say, let's, as young people, let us build things that last. And in that, we are able to also provide for the future generations to come.
Oh, I love that. But I mean, as somebody who, you know, you're saying that you come from a background that's quite, you know, you're from the township and of course in Mpumalanga, you know, outside, you know, South Africa's business district. My thing is, you know, the real heroes of our economy are the informal sector, the people in the informal sectors, and I know you speaking of you the reason you exist is because you've realized that there's a low percentage of of entrepreneurship, but you know, does this number factor in the informal sector, the informal economy? Because I mean, we are in the township at Dobsonville on a daily, and we see young people, informally so, starting to obviously trying to generate income by taking part in some or other economic activity. It may not be registered, it may not have a brand, it may not have a logo, it may not have a structure, but it is generating and taking in economy and economic activity. And of course, we've had people like Aboste who have spoken about, you know, this factor, Uguti, yes, you know, mina as umuntu, I may not have a registered business or a business ukuthi mawuthi ayibheka, it's considered to be like a company, a legal entity in South Africa, but I've got money in my bank account. You know, I'm taking part in the economy. I am selling something. I'm doing or some or other hustle. So you know, how are you factoring in that sector into this program, or is that something you're still looking at, going into and approaching and, involving?
That's actually a good question. So, obviously, with every program that we have, and as a programs manager, you always want to first, before you even design the program, there's what we call design thinking, right? You have to first hear from the people what they need. You can't work from a place of assumption. So from hearing the people what they need, you have to identify who are those people. So then that brings you to your target, right? So with the programs that we have, I'll speak on the youth entrepreneurship program that we've partnered with ABSA for. Our main focus is the need group. So it's young people who are not in education, not in training, and not also in any employment, right? So those are your hustlers, right? So we are trying to say and change that narrative of saying and glorify survivalist entrepreneurship. You understand? So we want them to please register that business, because if you say you want to go to NYDA and get funding, they will need legal papers. And what I love about the work that we do, we not only just host a masterclass to say, or have speakers to say, go register a business, start now. We actually have an initiative, right, called the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Initiative. It's a 6-week program, fully online, where we have our business advisory department who then get to sit with these entrepreneurs on a one-on-one level to say, this is how you actually get to register a business, right? If you need funding, and for specific funding, we have partners such as wholesale and resale SITA, right? And you find that there are some actually entrepreneurs who are doing bulk productions, like they have mass productions, and they don't even know how to get funding.
True.
And they don't even know the machinery, if I actually need money or I need machinery. You understand? So those are some of the things that we then get to combat through that skills program. So just to answer your question, is to say, at the heart of what we do, we actually cater for the need group, young people, and any education.
I love how powerful that sounds, because as you have been, raw and authentic about yourself, coming from Mpumalanga, there are girls out there, and young women, to be specific, who don't have the confidence, because when they hear about these kind of programs, they feel like
this is not for me.
This is not
like
for
this
me.
is so beyond my reach. Oh my
Understand.
goodness, Mina, what is it that I have to offer? type of
on
thing.
this. So how can a young woman out there, who is in the hood, and when they see this live video on their YouTube feed, build confidence to be part of this kind of movement?
All right, you're touching on something that is it's very important, right? And growing up in the township, as mentioned earlier, I think what took me out of there was actually confidence, right? And I'll speak to that a bit more. It's too sad because we are shaped by the environments that we get to be in. And when you get to varsity, I remember my first year at Verts, I was in class and there were people driving cars. I'm like, I thought a person drives a car after like
when I'm also
working.
and you're like probably close to your 40s or something. You're achieved, you're established.
Exactly. So I was so shocked. I'm like, okay, I'm not used to this life. Okay.
He said move.
And you know what's the problem with that? And I learned two things. You can either use that as inspiration, or that can actually affect your confidence. Right? So perception is everything in life. Forget about where you are right now. Forget about that, right? Look at where you want to go. I think it's so important to have a picture in your mind. Because I remember when I was still in high school, before I even got in at Verts, I used to always picture my life as a varsity. Thank God for Skim Sam. You see, representation.
Representation matters.
It matters so much, because I would see our people and in varsity having their own rooms. And I'm like, hey, I can't wait. And the stipend, what's that? I get my own Exactly, you get. So whenever we watch Skim Sam, I'm like, if I can just push, get a bursary, and get out of this township, I'm gone. I'm gone forever. So for me, it was a thing.
Me to the world, man.
Exactly, me to the world. Look now, we're top in center, man. Exactly. So it was a thing of having the final picture, right? Forget about where you are right now, what exists right now, and try to use actually what you have to get to where you want to be. And in that, you're able to build confidence. And unfortunately, there's a lot of motivational talks that you can listen to. There's a lot of things up until you actually take a chance on yourself. And I don't know if you guys realize this. It's so easy to believe on other people than yourself.
Yeah.
You
It's
understand?
easier to believe in others than to believe in yourself.
Exactly.
I've even found that even here at the Vooka Breakfast Show, you know, we have so many wonderful and amazing individuals that come through, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, what you guys are doing here is amazing," and you're like,
Exactly.
Tina, you know, it's easy to overlook your own achievements and look at others'
Exactly.
achievements and see them as so much grander and more achieved or whatever. But you always feel like others are doing better than you. But at the end of the day, when you focus on you, your own strength, and what it is, your value proposition is, you're like,
Oh, I love the we're in business
swear.
talks, guys. Very props. I love that.
yes. So it's that kind of thinking. And I love that you said that perception is everything. It's the
Everything.
one thing that I push on the show, you know. And that's what we try to do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, is to really change your mindset and speak to that, you know. Speak to you and the way in which you see the world, the way in which you see where you are and where you want to be. And actually, even if it is good to, like, you know, because we all, or some people reach that level of complacency where you're complacent, like you're okay with just being basic.
And that's the worst place to be at as a person.
Yeah.
Because literally, firstly, I'd like to believe you're disrespecting your maker, because he has put something inside
Hey,
you that
man.
he believes that you can literally change the world.
Yes.
But most importantly, you're disrespecting yourself. Like, why are you settling for average when you can have everything that you can think of? And it's all in the mind. I always say to people, look at everything that is around you. It started from someone's mind, literally from the microphone. Someone thought about it. It's actually, let me try to do this. And probably in the process of them telling them, where have you seen a person holding something and then the sound? You understand?
Right.
So for me, I'd say back to the confidence part. Just believe in yourself. Unfortunately, there's no one else. Even as a Kaigini, they'll try to pump you up. But if you don't pump
If it's
yourself
not
up,
you.
exactly. And also with other people, it will go it won't be for long, right? And as you grow, sometimes you lose people, sometimes you gain more people.
People's
but if you
positions in your life change.
exactly.
Feelings change. Seasons, things change.
And today I can say, oh no, believe in yourself.
Yes.
As a person, tomorrow I can say, no, you're believing in yourself too much.
Yeah.
You understand? So you can't believe in people. You have yourself. We have to get to a level as humans where we trust ourselves so much that we back ourselves up even when the room and the odds are against us. And we're more like, you know what? I can do this. Because I believe that everything, guys, you can achieve everything. It's all in the mind. But obviously, you have to put in the work.
I guess that's why they always say women are crazy. We're the one, we are the one group of people that, you know what, that sound on social media. What gave you the confidence? Delusion. That's what gave me the confidence. The fact that I thought to myself, man, yineng misayo actually. In actually, what is the sky? Is the sky even the limit?
Is it real? Who created it?
Type
me
of
try
thing,
it
you
out.
know. Let's see where I can go if I can push myself. So I'm loving that attitude. I'm loving the atmosphere right here. Women are connecting, networking. I've seen the smiles. I've seen people, you know, getting into like conversations with each other. And I think I love what you guys are doing here today.
Thank you so much. And I mean, we need to have partnerships like yourselves
Ah.
where we get to support each other. Because, I mean, through you guys being here, there's a young girl out there who's actually listening and
Or
watching
someone in
this.
JK Soweto who was thinking,
Exactly.
"Auntie, nami ngiyakwazi ukuthi ngifike lapha."
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's I always believe in intentional partnerships. So
True.
we truly are grateful for you guys to be here with us today.
Thank you, man. We're grateful to be here.
Yeah. To learn so much, of course.
Yes,
Information that brings value.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
of course, I'm hoping that some of the women and people that we've met here today, the Vooka Nation will get a chance to meet on the show, because we're all about forming those meaningful partnerships and making those impactful connections, you know, that will obviously benefit you as the viewer and the listener, you know, where you can obviously get the information and obviously get into the spaces where you can, of course, explore your talents, explore what you're good at, right? So we can have more and more people living in their purpose.
Yeah.
And in
Love
their
that.
power.
Yeah.
Love that.
So, lastly, if people want to connect with you through social media, where can they find you?
All right. I always love that question because it means that we'll then have people from your show connecting with us and having that relationship with them. So we are the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute, both on Facebook and also Instagram. LinkedIn, same thing, Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. Well, we don't have YouTube, but yeah, we're looking into
Now you
it.
do. You have YouTube via the Vooka Breakfast Show and of
Love
course
you,
the
Sam.
Blinko Network. Don't worry, we've got your back. Of course, that's what we're here to do, to showcase this amazing program and of course highlight the amazing work that you're doing within the communities that you're involved in. And thank you so much for, you know, rising up to the occasion of empowering women and helping us in Women's Month on a strong and powerful note, walking and living in our purpose and in our power amongst those who wish and well on others and on themselves. Thank you so much for the important work that you do, and we are hoping we're going to be more involved in your program, and of course you'll call upon us to partner with you whenever you host more of these amazing initiatives.
Yeah.
Without any doubt. We are together forever.
That's what I said earlier when we had another lady sitting right here. I said, you're stuck with us. You're stuck.
We are
You know,
here
you're
for
stuck
her.
here.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man. But yeah, there you have it right here, Vooka Nation. I just hope that conversation was so much helpful, and this is where we get to say bye-bye and start to network because we are
Nathi
here.
sifuna ukunetworka, guys. Ngeke silokhu sikhuluma lana. Nathi sifuna ukuhamba, meet the amazing people that are here, more beautiful ladies, and of course see more of what the space has to offer, you know, ascend.
Yeah.
Nathi sifuna uku-ascend, ascension.
Yeah, but with that being said, man, we are here for her right here, still celebrating Women's Month. From me, Moketi My Money, I will see you the time we come back. Let me see you Friday, man. Let me see you Friday.
Because you're not here tomorrow. You're not going to be on the show tomorrow.
Asia, pastors, I'll see them. But yeah, guys, till we see each other, thank you so much for being with us, and please do make sure that you subscribe and follow us through our social media platforms. Signing out, man.
Any last words? Any last words?
I almost said the sky is the limit, and then we spoke about the sky that is actually not the limit. So exactly. So I'm just gonna say, just trust your magic.
Yeah.
You have the
Trust your
magic.
magic, yeah.
You have it in you. And the reason I'm saying it's magic, we believe that per natural, like it's something out of
That
this
just
world.
happens, yeah.
You have it in you.
Yeah.
That's something that is out of this world.
Yeah.
Just trust it.
Ah, man,
you.
I love that. And of course, just on that note, it's me signing out. Utisi Gamazibuga Shabalala, your prime cut creative and positivity dose of the day. Umamshengu omuhle, umwela swawela ngeibugo, uyindlovukazi yakwantu, ngithi kunina bayede. Walk and be in your power. Purpose is your life. Don't forget that you are the everything in anything. Mwah! Bye.
Love